Hey everyone, and welcome back to another series review. I'm your host, as ever, Purple Midnight, joined once again by my partner, my wife, City Nook / Petal ASMR. Wouldn't you say hi again, because we're recording this after we just did the Garfield movie. Because we just finished season 2 of Monsters Work. I know it's very weird that we are covering season 2 before we did season 1. We will get around at some point, but we couldn't help but watch most of the episodes over the course of like a week, because a couple of times we were just like, we gotta watch another one. But we enjoyed season 1. We didn't even know season 2 was coming out until all of a sudden it was like on Disney Plus. But we enjoyed season 1. You're not a bit, well, we've covered Monsters University. You're not the biggest fan of Monsters Inc. So I'm sure we will cover it at some point, but today we are just going to do this. We are doing the second of each before the first. We'll get around to it at some point. So apologies, we're doing season 2 before we do season 1. We'll do season 1 at some point. So season 2 continues the story of the beloved monsters of Monstropolis, blending humour, heart, and the whimsical charm that fans have come to expect from the franchise. Set in the Monsters Inc. universe, this season follows the misadventures of the MIFT Monsters Inc. facilities team, because I love their acronyms, like Fear. No. You got Merc at the end of this. I can't remember anymore, weirdly. Like, they've all got their own, like, acronyms. MIFT, like MIFT being like MIFT, like I'm MIFT. Anyway, doesn't matter. Follows the misadventures of the MIFT crew, offering a delightful mix of character development, new story arcs, and the return of some fan-favourite monsters, which was desperately needed. Season 1 had a couple of returning characters that was good to see.
I like Mike.
They weren't in it enough for both seasons, really. But this was a new story about new characters. But we had the return of a few, especially like Johnny from Monsters University and his little, like, lackey, Chet. You had the announcer from Monsters University. There was a good few characters returning. We won't spoil a extra appearance towards the end of the series, which is sad, but I know we want to say something, but we try to keep it spoiler-free. The season picks up where the first left off, delving deeper into the dynamics of the MIFT team. Tyler Tuskman, voiced by Ben Feldman, continues his journey from a scarer in training to a valuable member of the Laugh Floor, navigating the complexities of his new role. Feldman's performance remains engaging, capturing Tyler's earnestness and comedic struggles as he adapts to his evolving responsibilities. His character development is one of the season's highlights, portraying a realistic progression from uncertainty to confidence. A standout aspect of Season 2 is the expanded focus on the supporting characters. Val Little, the two-legged, weirdly hairy hand, voiced by Mindy Kaling. As I said to you, considering she was in this, and then also in the fucking terrible Velma. I don't know how you can go from absolute dumpster fire to something that's good like this. Gets more screen time and backstory, revealing layers to her upbeat and quirky personality. Kaling's energetic performance breathes life into Val, making her a more relatable and endearing character. And the camaraderie between Val and Tyler from some of the season's most heartwarming and humorous moments. Most of the season is just like their relationship, with some extra bits of like drama and things, and some genuine like mystery as well. Fritz, Cutter, and Duncan, voiced by Henry Winkler, who we have actually seen on the channel, may I add. He was in Scream 1. He was the principal in that, but he's also Fonzie. Alana Ubach, I could be completely butchering that, and Lucas Neff, respectively, also received their share of the spotlight. Each character's quirks and idiosyncrasies are explored in more depth, adding richness to the ensemble cast. Duncan's schemes and competitive nature continue to provide comic relief, while Cutter's deadpan humour and Fritz's bumbling leadership add to the show's charm. The interplay between these characters creates a dynamic workplace comedy atmosphere that is both entertaining and relatable. The animation quality in Season 2 remains high, with vibrant colours, detailed character designs, and imaginative set pieces that capture the essence of Monstropolis. The animators have done an excellent job of blending the familiar with the new, creating a visually engaging experience that will appeal to both long-time fans, sorry I have to take a breath there, and newcomers. The attention to detail in the backgrounds and the fluidity of the character movements contribute to the immersive world building. I'm gonna have to take a fucking drink after that. I didn't take a breath for most of that paragraph. Do you want to fill the dead air with some commentary? No? Just gonna click. Alright. The writing in Season 2 strikes a good balance between humour and heart. As mentioned, there is a lot more actual character relationship developments. As they're given more time to sort of actually expand upon their relationships rather than it just being like, these are your characters, that's it. Like, here's their personalities, they're quirky and funny. Not so that was a bad thing with Season 1, but having a Season 2 lets them expand a bit more. The episodes are well paced, with clever dialogue and situational comedy that caters to both younger viewers and adults, or one autistic adult, one man who nearly falls asleep, and me, and a bunch of cats. The show continues to explore themes of friendship, teamwork, and the importance of adapting to change. These themes are woven into the narrative seamlessly, providing valuable life lessons without feeling preachy. As opposed to Barbie, which we notoriously didn't like. Go watch that review, nobody's watching it. That makes me sound sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, one of the season's strengths is its abilities to introduce new characters and storylines without overshadowing the core cast. Especially the introduction of new monsters like Roger Rogers, voiced by Rhys Darby from New Squealand instead of New Zealand. And challenges keeps the series fresh and engaging. These additions bring new dynamics to the Myth team and help to expand the world of Monstropolis. However, some episodes do feel formulaic, a predictable pattern that can make certain plot points seem repetitive. While the show's episodic nature allows for a variety of stories, not all episodes are equally compelling. Especially towards the later ones, where the mysteries begin to get a bit more prominent and detailed. But there's the episodes like the softball one, where they, or as we call it in England, rounders. That episode felt a bit unnecessary, to be honest. There was a couple of plot points in there that was there for the overarching plot. What the fuck was in your YouTube feed there? I had to address that. That caught me off guard. I will not elaborate further. Anyway, sorry, that's completely thrown me off. I didn't even know what I was on about. But yeah, the softball episode was a bit unnecessary, even if it did have a couple of plot points that were needed. Lost where I am. You've completely threw me off of what was in your YouTube feed. That's complete.
Oh.
Again, I will not elaborate further. A few storylines may feel less impactful, particularly when compared to the stronger, more character-driven episode. The voice cast continues to remain stellar, with Billy Crystal and John Goodman reprising their iconic roles as Mike Wazowski and Sully. Their presence adds continuity and nostalgia, bridging the gap between the original Monsters, Inc. movie and the new, which helps to have the original cast in, as opposed to them just being like, no, and then we've just got strictly new characters. And like we said, there's returning cast members like Nathan Fillion with Johnny, who I love, Nathan Fillion, and basically everything is in. Basically, every character that returns in this series is voiced by their original cast. But then again, that's what happens when you get the House of Mouse money, is they give you a lot of fucking money, apparently. Anyway. Chemistry between Crystal and Goodman is as strong as ever, and their comedic timing elevates every scene they are in. Overall, Monsters at Work Season 2 is a worthy continuation of the series, offering a delightful mix of humour, heart, and monster mayhem. While it has moments of predictability, the character development, voice performances, and high-quality animation makes it a must for fans of the franchise. The season successfully builds on the foundation laid by the, which we will have to cover at this point, because I don't know how we're doing this, pardon me, without doing the first one, but it is because we have literally just finished it, like an hour before we start recording. It provides a entertaining and heartful look into the world of Monstropolis and its enduring inhabitants. So yeah, we ended up getting quite gripped by this season, to say the least. Series 1 we were a bit more skeptical about, because, you only really like Monsters University, and we sort of thought, we'll give it a shot. We do that a lot with shows. I mean, I just gave What We Do in the Shadows a shot, and then you ended up just watching me watch it, and you were like, are we able to give it a try? And then because I think you were reading or doing it in my old house, but you couldn't help but get sucked in by the antics. But I think a lot of things we just take a chance on, and usually they pay. There's a few hit and miss ones we've seen before. We're in the middle of watching a couple of shows on Prime that we will review in due course. But unless my partner here has any extra commentary she wants to share. No, she's burping and trying not to touch herself with her nails. I'm your host as ever, Purple Minute A, thank you ever so much for listening. Joined once more as ever by my darling wife, the birthday girl herself, Pale ASMR / the Obsidian Nook. You'll find her links in the description alongside all of mine, and we will see you next time for whatever the hell we will be covering. I think so, it's been a little while. We've done a few in-between bits, and that was your choice. But then we've also covered this, covered another one, we did Barbie a few days ago. We sort of fell off with our taking turns thing, but we'll get back to it soon. So yeah, thank you ever so much for listening, and we will see you next time.